What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right, guys, it's that time of the year, and this will be my first time doing this sort of thing. This is my first year doing this. I started my YouTube channel on January the 8th of 2022, so my 1-year anniversary is coming up. So it's the end of the year video time, and I'm going to do mine a different way probably. This is my first year doing it. I have not had my hands on nearly as many knives as a lot of other larger channels have. So I'm going to break this up into price category. So there's going to be several videos, and we'll do them by different pricing. And then I'm going to do after all that, I'm going to do the knives I think are just, I don't know, the best 10 knives of the year, and not even consider price when doing it. And this video is going to be my favorite 5 knives of the year that were under $50. And you will recognize, I think you'll recognize all these knives. A couple of them were in my work knives video. A couple of them were not. So, number 1, this is the Sanremu 7063. This is 8CR13 MOV blade steel, aluminum scales, Axis style lock, deep hollow grind, lightweight. The fit and finish is excellent on this little knife. The action is absolutely amazing. It will also open a bottle, has a bottle opener built into it. This knife costs $20. This is one of those knives that I think has flown under the radar because I don't see anyone else talk about this little knife, and it is a fantastic little knife for $20. Absolutely amazing action. I'm a big fan of this knife. I carry it all the time. It carries in the 5th pocket also if you want to, but it's big enough to where you can carry it as a primary, but it's on the small side, so it's not a large knife. Medium-sized hand, I can get a four-finger grip, so yeah. The 7063 by Sanremu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I may not be. All right. Next up should not surprise anyone. Well, this one may surprise you. I really like this knife. I've used it a lot this year. It's one of the first knives I got when I got into this. This is the Gonzo Firebird F7601. It's 440C blade steel. Another Axis style lock. I really like my Axis style locks. Absolutely fantastic action as I fell it under the camera. This one's a larger knife, but it's not too heavy. It feels very good in hand, very comfortable in hand. You can beat the crap out of this knife and it just keeps going, and I have beat the ever-living crap out of this knife and had no issues whatsoever. No rust issues, no action issues, no issues with anything other than the fact that I've scratched it all up everywhere. But for $21, I mean, if you need a beater knife, man, you need a larger knife you can beat on, this is a fantastic option. It will not disappoint you. 440C, I've had it for a year, and almost a year now, and I haven't had a single spot of rust that I can see. And I haven't taken the best care of this knife. I honestly haven't. I've neglected this knife a lot, and I see no rust. I definitely need to take it apart and clean it on the inside. It is pretty filthy in there. It is on cage ceramic ball bearings, and the Axis lock action is fantastic. With some of these budgety Axis locks, they're kind of odd. They almost feel like assisted filling. They're too strong. The spring wants to make the blade fly out, and then the spring wants to jerk the blade back in. This one's not like that, and neither is this one. They're very smooth. Very smooth. Very good action. So, and out of the box, they're very smooth. So, all right. Next up is going to be, this next brand has 2 knives. Honestly, this is, a lot of people are probably choosing button locks for this category, but I'm not the biggest fan of button locks, so I don't have a lot of button locks. I'm not going to see any button locks really, other than my button lock of the year knife. I'm just not a fan. But Sencut has came on strong this year. They have released some fantastic knives for under $50. This one is the Sencut Honoris. This knife is $42, and it is absolutely an amazing knife. 9CR18 MOV blade steel, micarta scales. It's on cage ceramic ball bearings, ceramic ball detent, has an excellent detent, excellent ergos, very lightweight, takes a really sharp edge and holds it for a very good amount of time, honestly. So this is one of those that surprised me. This is another one I've used at work and beat the ever-living crap out of, and it's just gotten smoother over time. I've had to sharpen it a few times. Takes a great edge and holds it long enough to where I'm very happy with it for $42. And I would highly recommend this knife to anyone for work or not work or whatever you need a good knife for on a budget. $42, you can't go wrong. Next up, we have another Sencut. And these are in order, right? I chose these in order from least favorite to favorite. So these are 5 that I like the most in my budget, under $50 knives. So next up, another Sencut, the Sencut Bronte. Love this knife, man. Such a good knife. Love the front flipper. This one's also 9CR 18 MOV blade steel. It got a nice fuller there to reverse flick it. I struggle with the fuller because my knuckles, but trust me, it's fine to reverse flick. I gotta give it a little risk because I can't bend my middle finger that well, but I don't use that anyway. I use the front flipper or top flipper, which is really good. Again, same exact steel as the Honoris. Takes a great edge. I haven't picked this one up in a while. I've been carrying those scallywags, but neither of the scallywags made the list. I do like scallywags, but you know, I just like these more. I think these are better quality knives. The Sencut's basically a Civivi. They say it's a budget Civivi. It's 9CR, so it's basically a Civivi with 9CR. They did a great job on these knives. This is another one I have neglected the heck out of. And this coating, although you can see some signs of use, it's held up really well. And I've cut a lot at work with this knife. The lock is held up really well. I'm only at about 50%. It's extremely dirty inside there. It needs to be cleaned. But Sencut's coming out with a lot of really cool knives for a very good deal. I'm really excited to see what they do in 2023, honestly. All right, next up. This one won it for a couple reasons. It looks good. It carries great in the pocket. It can be a primary. It can be a 5th carry. It is the most fidget-friendly on the list, and it's a great knife. The Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. These run right at, actually this one's $43. I think I forgot to say the price. This one runs right at, now I will tell you, they make a K110 version they have on Amazon that's $48. They also have 14C 28N for $53. You get the 14C. White Mountain Knives also has the 14C for $53, but you can get 10% off that when they're in stock. So you can get this knife for like $48. Fantastic deal for this knife in the 14C. I wouldn't recommend getting it in the K110. It's only $5 more for the 14C, even if you go on Amazon, which will put this over $50 if you buy the K110 version. But I would still recommend this knife with K110 just because of how good it is. Ergonomics are absolutely amazing. It's a small knife, but full grip on it, no problem at all. The front flipper action's fantastic. The fuller action's fantastic. The detent is just tuned perfectly. The fuller is done extremely well. Get lots of traction on this fuller. Left it very sharp at the top, not cut you or hurt you sharp, but sharp at the top to where you get lots of traction on your finger. And the front flipper is done extremely well. So Petrified Fish has released a lot of good stuff this year too. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff Petrified Fish has released has been D2, and I have a couple of those knives, and I considered putting them on this list, but I tried to avoid D2. If you can buy a knife that's stainless, go with the stainless knife, in my opinion. So there's not gonna be any D2 on my list this year. I think in the knife community, it's kind of time to move on from D2. So I'm not going to give any D2 knives any props because 14C, $50. Why do we need D2, right? Even 9CR. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with 9CR. I'll take it over D2 every day of the week. So we stop buying the D2, they will stop using the D2. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Those are my top 5 under $50 knives, and there's going to be one from 50 to 100, 100 to 200, and over 200, and then an all-encompassing my favorite knives of the year. So keep an eye out for those. I'm going to release them out probably one a day over the next several days. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.